Hello everyone and welcome back to episode of the month, and this marks 1 year of episode of the month. We started in 2021, January, we did an episode on Dickinson. This third season was okay. A few misses, a few good stuff, I loved it overall. But January 2022 brings us to the incredibly fun, the incredibly savvy, and one of my favorite television programs in the last, I want to say 10 years. Yellowjackets, and we are talking the finale because I planned on doing this big review. I had all these notes and everything taken. I typed it up on a document and I accidentally deleted everything. And instead of collectively collecting my thoughts, I just said, well, I'm going to be talking about it when season 2 comes out. So I'll just, do an episode of the month on it. So the finale to Yellowjackets. What can I say? It is just brilliant. It was such a well-paced and created finale. Every loose end got tied up that we needed to. It set itself up for a beautiful future. Man, was this show just fun. There are certain moments in particular I do want to just hone in on, just because I have talked about the show at length already. I really, really, really like the way that Jackie was portrayed. I don't think she's my favorite character. I think looking at a standpoint from a writing perspective, just as a character analytical perspective, she is such a fascinating character study. Throughout the entirety of the show, she is kind of billed as the main character. I think is the top build of the younger actresses. And you're just okay, she's the lead. She doesn't want to be here. She is questioning everything more than a lot of people. And in the previous episode to the finale, she is just kind of put against everybody, and everyone's going after her in this sense. And doom coming, you just see people are going cannibalistic and turning against her. And you think she's the bad guy. You think because she is going to, sleep with Travis, she's the bad guy. But no, we vouch for her. We want to support this girl because everyone literally tries to attack her and they lock her in a closet. And in the finale, Jackie's story comes to this really satisfying conclusion where she kind of calls everybody out for their bullshit. Throughout the entirety of the season, she's been pushing Shauna in the direction of kind of stepping up from being the sidekick. And I'm not saying Shauna was the sidekick. I'm just saying we are pushing her away from that storyline. And when they blow heads in that last episode, it is so powerful and believable. It feels like two friends who love each other more than anything in the world having an argument that they both mean, but they also don't mean. And I'm sure in the real world, anybody here has had an argument like that with their friend where you mean what you're saying, but you don't mean it in a way that hurts people. You're just you need to get your shit together and figure this out. And Jackie and Shauna's just argument leading to Jackie just going outside and not coming back in. It feels a lot like Jackie, where she pushes away at the moment when things get close. And she has so many regrets. And look, spoiler alert if you haven't already guessed it, Jackie dies. And I kind of figured, I thought for sure actually, Jackie's death would be a lie and we'd actually see her in the modern day played by a known actress. But the fact that she dies in such a tragic way, literally freezing to death, and the snow rolls in and the next morning she's covered in snow, just frozen, that is so I'm just amazed. That is such a tragic and painful way to kill a main character. Because we were finally coming around to Jackie. We spent the entirety of the show questioning her morals. She's okay, she wants to get with Travis because she needs to get laid. She's going to pit people against each other. She accidentally almost kills Laura Lee. She is just so against everything. And suddenly we're this girl's finally getting there. We feel sad for her. The storyline where you see that Jeff and Shauna go to actually hang out with her parents when it's the anniversary of her death. You feel the weight of that emotion. And man, is it just intense. And Jackie's death was probably one of the highlights of 2022 so far for television. I mean, it's the start of the year. But it was just so powerful. And it just had so much going for it. And the weight was there. The emotion was there. I just really dug what we were seeing there. And it just culminated to a beautiful ending for that kind of the younger actor story. You see that everything just worked so well there. But that's not all that was good, because this show is steeped in this idea of high school. What would it be if we didn't have a nice classic, high school reunion? Very common theme of late, but whatever. So it's 25-year anniversary of the reunion, everyone comes in looking sexy, looking cool. God, these women are beautiful. Like there's a beautiful, I cannot remember for the life of me what song they're playing when these four women just walk in. Everyone stops and is like looking at them. God, that was just a beautiful, that is a moment that you know was written by a woman, because I'm just like, men would make this moment, and I'm not saying anything towards any type of writer, but if a man was writing that moment, it just wouldn't feel as authentic. It just feel like we're sexualizing these women as opposed to showing the empowerment of these women, literally like the survivors of this thing coming back to show you what they are capable of, what they are doing here. It's freaking sweet. And I love that a lot. I just love like the cringiness of like when like Ty broke that girl's leg in the first episode, and when we come back to, she's the grown-up woman, she's kind of like hosting the reunion, she gets Shauna and Jeff to dance. It's just so awkward and impolite in some weird ways. It's just really nice. It's a nice moment, and I just think like that is the kind of stuff that we need in television. Again, it's slow, it's methodical, it's setting up its tension instead of like actually doing something big. It's like your finale to a show about high schoolers should be a high school reunion, and it actually works well. And of course, like with every episode and every single time I talk about this, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Christina Ricci, because she's doing some incredible work. I love the beginning of this episode where they're like, how do we get rid of the dead body? Here's how. And it's just like really beautiful, just a great moment. But at the end of the episode too, when she literally kills the reporter, I'm like, damn, son. You're pretty, but you're scary. I really dug that. It was just amazing. It's amazing. I saw a comment online. It was like everybody in the show's Dexter if Dexter was a MILF. I'm like, yeah. Or Hannah. Was it Hannibal? Or was it like Yellowjackets is just Hannibal if everybody was Hannibal and a MILF? I'm like, dude, yes. Because they're sexy, they're powerful, and they're killing people. It's great. It is such a well-paced show, and just seeing these tremendous actresses have the opportunity to like showcase their talents will never cease to amaze me. But I knew it. I knew somewhere along the line we were going to have the reveal of somebody else was being alive. We just had to. It was just going that route. It had to be that case. So we saw in like the younger versions that Lottie was kind of creating her own cult, and it looks like she was literally sacrificing the heart of a deer or something to some weird god. And we see that Tan, or is it Van? I think it's Van and Misty actually are a part of the cult. So is Misty in the present day part of the cult? Who knows? But Lottie's alive and she has a cult, dude. Like, yeah, that's what you do. Like, Lottie is the perfect bad guy now, because she's literally done nothing in the first season. We are establishing what she is going to do in the next season. I loved that, just that end cliffhanger where you see Natalie gets kidnapped by this cultist. That was awesome. That was powerful. That was sick. I freaking loved that ending. And everything about this episode worked. The characterization of all these powerful women, the storyline of Jackie culminating into a satisfying but tragic death. I adored this immensely, and the finale to Yellowjackets will never cease to be one of my favorite things to come out in a long time, and of course, it is my episode of the month. So thank you guys so much for watching another rendition of this show. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have fun, stay safe. Good luck.